Welcome to the Driver's Line. I'm Greg.
And I'm Jordan.
And today, we've got a conversation for you.
Yeah, our conversation brings us to the world of pet peeves again.
Pet peeves, things we love to talk about.
Yeah, well, this one is really about cost-cutting techniques that manufacturers do and we just can't stand.
Cannot stand. It's just the things that make so much sense that you would value that they're like, hey, we're just going to do that cheaply as possible. Just think of everything that you touch in a car. We're going to make that hard plastic. Wrong. Things that anything you're going to touch your fingers on, we're going to make that shiny plastic. Wrong.
So yeah, we're talking about things that manufacturers just try to pinch pennies on, but that really actually make a big difference when you're dealing with this car every single day.
Exactly.
And the first one I'm going to talk about is from, I will admit, a very cheap car, the Mitsubishi Mirage. I understand. But this thing has one of the worst tacked-on backup cameras in existence. Okay? Backup cameras have been law for a while now in the United States. I understand not necessarily everywhere in the world, particularly where cheap econo boxes are popular. But could we at least put the camera like in the center of the car?
I know. Let's put it slightly off center because that also makes it harder to back up because your camera's slightly off center. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. But that's something that Mitsubishi chose to do. You know, I mean, in their slight defense, they obviously don't have a lot of money. And the Mirage was built before the U.S. required backup cameras, you know, as part of law, right? And so now backup cameras are required to be in every car. And they initially were like, hey, we don't need one, cheap car, right? Made sense. But then they're like, okay, where can we tack it on? And it's just like...
Yeah, I mean, I know it's cheap, but man, just shift it over a couple inches.
Yeah, at least make it, you know, I mean, we like things to be symmetrical.
Right.
And this is asymmetrical.
Yeah, it's very, very annoying. Speaking of annoying.
And, you know, this wasn't the only car that did it, right?
Yeah,
so the ND Miata also had it. A lot of people got extremely mad when it became a requirement on the Miata because they're like, it ruins the design because Mazda's like,
yeah, let's pop it there.
Pop it right here, it's fine. You know, don't even talk about the shark fin because that's a whole other thing with the Miata community. They hated the shark fin. Yeah, but, you know, the camera itself also was a little challenging too, and it kind of looked like a wart just on the back of your beautiful ND Miata.
Oof, oh boy,
yeah.
Oh boy. Well, speaking of warts, let's talk about the Volkswagen ID4.
We can't talk about whole cars here.
Well, okay, fine. Well, let's pick something on the ID4. I mean, literally anything. How about the window switches?
What's so bad about the window switches?
Well, as we all know, the ID4 is a four-door vehicle.
Yes.
Typically pretty popular, like with kids and families, that kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. So,
probably want pretty quick access. Like, you know, if your kid lowers the window and is trying to throw something out there, you probably want to raise that pretty quick.
Yeah, good idea.
Well, here's the thing. Volkswagen thought, to save some money so I can use the same window switches on basically any car in my lineup, from vans, to coupes, convertibles, whatever, you name it, let's make one window set of switches with just two switches on it, and then an additional one where I can click it, and then it activates the rear windows instead of the front. So now I'm taking something that literally I could do without looking at it, just one step, and I have to find the switch to switch it to the back row and then pull this window switch. It is unnecessarily complicated. Why are we doing this?
This is like the Tesla turn signals. It's reinventing something that doesn't need reinvented. I mean, it literally doesn't need reinvented. It was already perfect. Yeah. One switch per window.
Yeah. And I mean, this is coming from a brand that's known for quality switchgear and intuitiveness in their controls. And this is what you give us? Come on, Volkswagen.
It makes no sense whatsoever. Jeez. No sense at all. Jeez. And I can't imagine the frustration of trying to be like, oh, I'm going to put this window down. And then you've got it set to the back windows and you're pulling up to like a bank. And you're like, oh, sorry. Let me switch to my other window switch.
Terrible. Oh, terrible.
Yeah. Bad design. Bad design.
For sure.
So, moving on. We're going to keep beating up switchgear here for another minute. Because the next one is one that we had a personal experience with. If you guys remember our Maserati review.
That's right.
One of the things we griped about was a lot of the switchgear was reused from much lesser product than what you should find in a $80,000 Maserati.
Yes, like shared with the Dodge Caravan.
Or the Dodge Dart. Or the Dodge 200 or Chrysler 200.
Yeah.
I mean, it just boggles the mind that they're like, hey, this is fine. Let's just stick it in here.
Yeah, no one will notice.
No one will
It'll
notice.
be okay.
No. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, it's just so cheap.
Unbelievably cheap.
Looking.
And it sticks out because you have a lot of other nice things, but then you have something cheap. It becomes an eyesore. And it's also durability is just not as great either. So it just sticks out. And every time you drive the car, it's something that you touch frequently and just makes you mad.
Yeah, especially like from a company like Maserati, who is Italian heritage. Design is a big player in that. I mean, I know that switchgear isn't like the first thing you think of when you think of design, but it's part of a cohesive package.
It is.
And that does not come through.
Not at all.
When you're driving that.
No.
Yeah. Well, go into the kind of the other end of the spectrum, into econo boxes in a sense. But I would say the Ford Focus was kind of a step above an econo box, right? Pretty well regarded in terms of its.
I mean, it's one of the better
driving
econo
habits.
boxes, yeah.
But yeah, when they refreshed it, and for the North American market, we lost some important things.
We did lose an important thing, and this is something I had a direct experience with because I had one as a rental car for a period of time when my Mustang got smashed. But I got in this Ford Focus, and I was getting ready to drive, and as I set my arm down, it just fell to the side because there's no armrest.
Oh my gosh.
No center armrest whatsoever. Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Just space between the seats.
It's giving 1980s. What are we doing?
Not an armrest.
Come on now.
Not a console rest.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, it's so that you can like easily step back to the back like a minivan, right?
Sure.
I don't think so. Yeah, just cheapness, guys.
It's just complete cheapness. I mean, come on, Ford. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this car's way gone at this point, but still,
right.
I mean, it just makes no sense whatsoever. People love to put stuff in their console for storage, or if you're like, hey, we don't want to do a console, just a little armrest that you can fold up and down.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's so visually cheap, like to not have that. So
Really.
yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of a different area here, not moving out of the interior into the engine bay. Not typically a place you want to cut corners.
No, but we're going to stay with American cheapness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Melee's era, we were concerned about lots of things, but fuel economy was a problem.
It was a big problem, and so a lot of Americans started seeing these great diesels coming out of Europe, and so America's like, we need to make our own diesels too.
Yeah. So, I mean, nice fuel efficient little diesels coming out of Europe is great. But, America, not really known for small economical engines at the time, right? But, hey, we got V8s.
We got a lot of V8 motors.
Yeah.
And so General Motors, in all of their wisdom, was like, hey, we're going to take our 350, the gasoline version, and we're going to convert it to diesel. Just guys, this is such a great idea. I can see the meeting with everybody. They're like, oh, this is such a great idea. We're going to save so much money. Everybody's going to love us.
Oh, my gosh. Just nightmarishly unreliable.
Just completely unreliable. I mean, just everything that you do to make a diesel reliable, they did not do. They try to reuse as much of the 350 as they could, and it just doesn't work because that was designed as a gasoline engine, and diesel engines really needed to be designed as diesel engines, and it just did not work. The blocks warped. I mean, I think the heads warped. Everything about it did not work, and it single-handedly set back the adoption of diesels in the United States probably indefinitely.
Yeah, I mean, no one wanted one. And who could blame them?
Yeah, who could blame them? All they did was smoke and go slow.
Yeah.
And that was when they were working.
I'm good, no thanks.
Nope, don't want it.
Jeez. Well, this next one is back to econo boxes. But specifically, we're talking about actually a really fun econo box.
A very fun econo box. And this one is kind of like a love-hate thing, right? Because you can say, well, maybe they did this because they really wanted to, focus on performance. And maybe that was it. But I think it was probably cheapness.
Yeah, so we're we're talking about the Neon SRT4, which on the face of it is such a really fun, awesome car. Fantastic engine, great chassis tuning. I mean, you still find these driving around autocross tracks nowadays, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And in the front of the car, hey, we got really cool sporty gauges. They really embrace that sportiness.
Yeah. Really nice sporty bucket seats.
Yeah.
Power windows.
Nice.
A great place to be in the front seats.
Yeah, I mean, for the time, it wasn't like a super cheap car because they did so much modifications to it. But then you step into the back.
Yes. Tell me about the back.
Well, we talked about bucket seats because it's so sporty.
Yeah, totally. Bucket seats in the back, right?
How about a bench seat? Just a big flat bench seat. Just no bolstering whatsoever.
Well, at least I'm going to have power windows in the back, right?
No.
Oh.
No. Yeah, in the base Neon, that wasn't really a big deal because we knew it was cheap and affordable transportation. But in something that you're paying a lot more money for, you need some necessary creature comforts like power windows. I mean, come on now.
So the Neon is one of the few cars that has power windows in the front and roll windows in the rear.
Such a strange comment.
It's just a strange comment. You know, again, they're probably doing this to maybe save a little bit of weight. I don't know how much a window motor weighs. Maybe a pound. So that's 2 pounds, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. When you look at its contemporaries of the time, they didn't do this, right?
No.
Now, this is the only car, like Greg said, that did this, and it looked cheap.
It did look cheap. It just kind of stuck out to you because you had nice seats and some nice amenities in the front, and the back was just Spartan.
Yeah. So like at the time, that was a pretty big issue. Nowadays, they're so cheap now, who cares? But at the time, that kind of put it on a step back from the other competitors at the time, like the WRX and
Evo
GTI.
And stuff like that. And granted, it did come in at a lower price point than those guys, but still, it definitely, when someone's like looking at it, they're like, hey, maybe I want to spend a little bit less money at the Neon, then they get in the back and they're like, ugh. And I'm going to spend all my time in the front, but still, ugh.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right, the last one on our list here.
Do we even have to talk about it?
I mean, this one has been beaten like a dead horse, so we're going to beat it some more just because it's fun to kick things that are bad when they're down.
And
this is something that's very bad.
So bad it's just languishing on dealers' lots, and they stopped production of it right now.
Yeah, and for a while, the manufacturer who made them actually stopped taking them in as trades.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we can't take these. They're so bad. We can't even take our own cars back. It's that bad. And this car has issues going through car washes. It stops working. When you're driving down the road, panels will fly off. It just, if you try to use it as an off-road vehicle, it doesn't really work.
Nope. It just stares at you.
It costs almost more than twice as much as they originally said it was going to cost.
Yep.
When it came out, originally it was going to be like $39,000, I think, or $49,000, and the first one that came out, of course, was really nice series, but it cost well over $100,000, and
and it's made of stainless steel.
Yes.
Which you would think would give it a nice durable feel. Not so much. Yeah, when the glue that you're using doesn't actually hold the panels onto the body, that becomes a problem. When giant stainless steel panels are flying across highways, right?
Yeah, not great.
No. So we're obviously talking about the Tesla Cybertruck.
The Cybertruck, yes, and also smashes people's fingers in the front trunk when it closes automatically, and just doesn't do a lot of things well.
Oh.
It's not a great car. It's not a great truck.
No.
It's great to be obnoxious, and that's about it.
There you go. We found its market segment. You want something obnoxious? Buy the Cybertruck.
Buy the Cybertruck, yep. But yeah, I mean, these have already fallen to, about like $60,000 on trade-in value, I think, for vehicles that were, 110,000 new. So that's a pretty significant depreciation. And, EVs already have a little bit more of a steep curve, and that's just largely because, the technology is moving so quickly.
Right.
But this is like abnormally high.
Yeah, for something that was billed as, the renaissance of the pickup, a completely new direction. Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere fast at all. No.
Yeah. Well, we're sure that there's some things that probably get on your nerves, right, in terms of cost cutting.
That's
maybe
right.
a car you owned before.
Yeah, maybe an entire car like the ID4, maybe something different. Let us know in the comments. We'd be really interested to hear about it.
Yeah, go ahead and share that.
Thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us on The Driver's Line.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss a thing.